What's up, Bourbon and Blockchain crew? We've got a special guest tonight. Tonight we are sipping on bourbon and whiskey with the one and only Professor Carolina Keith. How you doing, sir?
What's up, brother? You ready to get trashed?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Bro, I
it's
need it.
already happening.
I need it.
Yeah, it definitely after all the different things that are going on in the market, all the different news, all the FUD, all that stuff. I think it's great just to get together, have a drink, and talk it out, if you will.
100%.
Yeah, this night it's a little different for me. I'm drinking out of a plastic glass tonight. I'm in a hotel room, but trying to get her done, if you will.
Dead
So a
men
little
tell no
different.
lies, so who cares? Let it ride.
Exactly. I'm just here to have a good time and drink some bourbon tonight. What are you drinking on tonight, man?
I've got Jameson. I got Jameson Black tonight. Jameson Black Barrel. I got this. I forget, but I saw it and I was like, you know what? I've never had that. I think I'll take a chance. I'm not a Jameson guy. Just not.
Yeah, I don't like regular Jameson at all.
Right. Me either. So I'm like, you know what? What the fuck? What if it's good? So I try. I was like, holy shit, this stuff's good. So I've had it for a couple nights now, and you can see I've got about that much of the bottle knocked down so far. It's not bad. It doesn't have that stupid bite on the end.
Oh, that's nice.
It's smooth, but sometimes you like a little bite, so it's okay. But this one doesn't have that. It's got a good oak taste, a little bit of vanilla in there. But for the most part, smooth without the hard bite, and that's what I like about it. It doesn't have that punch you in the mouth bite. I also have some Broken Barrel small batch.
Ooh, I've never had that.
This, however, will absolutely kick you in the mouth like a donkey. Okay,
116 proof.
Yeah, it'll punch you right in the face. It's got the hardest bite, and it doesn't have the super aromas and stuff like that, but the bite's hard. This is better, in my opinion, mixed with something.
Yeah.
Drinking it straight just isn't much fun. It's not bad.
It takes all the fun out of it because it kicks your ass.
Right. It's just so fast. It just puts you down real quick. So it's like, do I really want to go down that fast, or do I want to enjoy what I'm doing? Right.
Yep.
So I like this stuff too. I got a bunch of other stuff over here, but that's probably what I'll fiddle with.
Yeah, Jameson Black. I've had it one time before, and I guess I liked it, but it was at a wedding. It was one of the liquors that was at the that they were serving, one of their top shelf liquors at the wedding. So I don't really remember it that well, but I must have liked it because I drank a hell of a lot of it and felt horrible the next day. So
there's another one that I would recommend for everybody. This is different, but gosh, it's good. This is Hercules Mulligan.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about that on your streams.
Hercules Mulligan rum and rye. It's spicy like Mexican food, like got all the spice to it. It doesn't have a bad bite at all. It's very smooth. The flavor's great, and it's just got a little bit of spice, and it lasts maybe 5 seconds, and then it goes away. You're
nice.
Like, damn, that was pretty good. I want to try that again. Let's see. Was it bad? I don't know. Try it again. It's not bad. Try it again.
Yep.
So you've knocked down half the bottle, right?
Yep.
So that's
how you know it's not bad.
Right. It's rum, rye, whiskey, ginger, and bitters.
Okay? Oh man, that sounds really good.
So it goes hard. It's great. But the thing is, they don't have it many places. So
I was going to ask you, where's it made at?
They don't have it in my local liquor store. It's made in Westfield, New York. Hercules Mulligan. HerculesMulliganCompany.com. Product of the USA. It's good shit though.
Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, I've been stuck on a couple. The ones that I've been talking about recently with my crew. I really like Jefferson's Ocean. If you can get a Voyage 20 through 22, it's really, really smooth because all the different barrels are different. They all have different tastes.
Right.
And it depends on how deep you get into it because some of the barrels actually go on the Atlantic and some of the barrels go on the Pacific. So you can imagine that there's a little bit, of a different taste there. Some of the voyages are longer and some of them are shorter. So some of them get more agitation in the barrel than others, if you will. So that's one that I like a lot. Another one, and you got to really look for this one, Stellum.
I've never heard of that.
Okay, nobody has, and this is one of those ones where remember how like nobody ever heard of name your whiskey or your bourbon, and then everybody started to hear about it and they all started drinking it. This Stellum is one of those that are happening right now.
You bring up something interesting. A couple years ago, me and a buddy that trade together, whom I started with, We just talked about this yesterday. This is interesting. I'm glad you brought it. I'm glad you brought it up. So we were working at a bottling factory. Okay, we were just there to fix the air conditioner. We're working at a bottling factory, and we're up there working. Blah blah blah, and everybody gets really quiet, and we can't hear anything. It's really usually loud. You got machines running, all this shit. It gets really quiet. We go down there, and there's people in nice suits standing around. I'm like, oh shit, what are they doing? And we never see people in here like that. It's usually like worker people, right? Regular people. Well, we happen to look, and they're doing a bottling test, and we didn't know what for. It's Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace was there doing a bottling test to see how well they could orchestrate. The damn bottles are produced right there where we work, and I was like,
That is
was before
awesome.
anybody knew about. That's before anybody knew about Buffalo Trace. It
Yep.
was right there in front of us, and I completely forgot about that. And then he reminded me of that yesterday. He was like, "You remember that was Buffalo Trace?" I was like, "Holy shit, dude! How'd you remember that?" So that stuff looks good there. That's Stellum.
Yeah, so a lot of people pass it up. So no joke, the last two people that I've shown this to thought that I was bringing like mead or wine to their house
Ha!
because it looks like a bottle of wine. Would you disagree?
Fair.
So when I brought it, they were like, "Oh, we're drinking wine," like, and obviously, I don't drink wine, I drink bourbon, and they were like, "Okay, like it must be really good." Then I open it up and like you get the cork and everything, and they're like, "Wait a second, that's not wine, that's bourbon."
That
Then they
almost made me
drink it.
drunk. Smelling the cork almost made me drunk.
Oh my god, and it's so good. So the one on the right there, the blue label, if you can find it, and it's not a barrel pick, the regular label, it tastes like it tastes like oak and dark chocolate. It has a real smooth, long lasting dark chocolate taste. And I'm telling you, if you guys can find it anywhere, just give it a shot. It's so good.
I'm a dark chocolate fan too.
Yeah. So that bottle, when I first started finding it, was around $45 a bottle, and now it's already up to like $70 to $75 a bottle because people are starting to find it and it's rare.
You mentioned bottles that look like wine, and I have this Glenmorangie here. It's a 15-year whiskey. It's a 15-year Scotch. This one here, it looks like a wine bottle as well. You know what I mean? It's kind of tall and slender like a wine bottle. I
Right.
got it, and I didn't realize. When I opened it up, I asked the fiance, I said, "Did you order wine?" No, I didn't order wine. I was like, "Well, this bottle of wine." I said, "Oh shit! Wait a minute. That says 15." I thought it said wine. I said, "That says 15-year whiskey." Holy shit! And then I tried it, and it kicks like a donkey right in the face, like most scotches do. But what tripped me out was the shape of the bottle, like you're saying there. It kind of looks like a wine bottle. So does this. It threw me off. You know what I mean?
You're
Tall
right.
and
It
slender
does.
bottle.
And they've almost got the same colors.
Yeah, the light brown instead of dark brown. Yeah, it's. I'm not a big Irish whiskey guy, but that stuff's pretty stout and it's pretty darn good. It's good and smooth. Yeah. It's good and smooth. It's not. I'm not a huge Scotch guy because I'm telling you, I wasn't. Here's something else. I wasn't sure or didn't understand quite about nice whiskey versus cheap whiskey. Okay,
Right.
I didn't get it. Right. So as you grow up and you start drinking more
As you mature.
established things, as you mature, you grow up and you stop drinking, wine coolers and shit. And you grow up and you start drinking real whiskey or real bourbon, and you go, holy shit, I don't need to drink as much to get way drunker. I don't
Right.
have to drink 30 beers. I can have 2 really nice bourbons, and that's just as good as 8 beers. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I didn't need to drink anymore. I'm fine now. It's actually nice and easy on you like that. What's up, Christine? It's actually
What's up,
nice and
Christine?
easy like that. You know what I mean? I appreciate, as you get older, it's an acquired taste. I understand that, just like cigars or anything else. But I've come to appreciate having a bourbon or having a whiskey and just relaxing a little bit and not drinking to get drunk, just drinking to enjoy for once in a while.
Yeah. That brings up a good point because, I've listened to some of the biggest distillers in the world from all different distilleries, Buffalo Trace, Four Roses, Jack Daniels, you name it. And what they typically say, interviewers, if they're good, they'll ask them, how do you suggest your audience enjoys your drink, right? And if they're good salesmen, but if they're smart, what they'll say is, however you want to enjoy it. If you want to enjoy your Jack Daniels on the rocks, do it. If that's what makes you happy, do it. If you want to enjoy a Jack and Coke, you're not ruining the Jack Daniels. Enjoy it how you want it. So like you, for example, I know you like to do the metal balls, so it doesn't take away from the flavor.
Big
I
shiny
love
metal
my
balls.
bourbon. Yeah. Oh yeah. Big hangers. And ape hangers, if you will. And if that's how you enjoy it, that's great. I like it on ice because I like to kind of dilute it so I get more of the flavor and I can enjoy it slowly without burning my taste buds off all the time. Because I typically drink stuff that's 90 proof and above.
Right.
So I mean, enjoy it how you want it, man.
I'll mix it up. Sometimes it's high proof, sometimes it's not. It really just depends. However you're feeling for the moment. If I know I'm going to be going hard for the night, for instance, I'll be doing a class, live stream, a Zoom afterwards, and then getting up 2 hours later. I'm not going for the 100 plus.
No, you can't. Okay? Can't operate like that.
I'm not going for the 100 plus. I'll do a couple of the 45s and I'll walk away. If I know I don't have to do all that extra stuff, well, then I can go a little harder and I can try, 115 or so, and I can sit back and I have some moonshine over here too.
And get out of here.
Let me explain to you, just straight up hardcore moonshine here. Listen, I don't know what proof it is, but your human function goes away once it hits your mouth. So it's somewhere up there around 1 million. I don't know. High enough that you can't breathe when you drink it. So
yes,
it'll absolutely kick you right in the face. It's great. Don't get me wrong, it's great, but boy, this is apple pie too. It's apple pie, but it's got to be up there near 170.
Yeah, okay.
It's gotta be.
I've got one.
Jar.
So I've got one story about that, a quick one. So I was hanging out with some friends, and I was in Virginia. And they had some moonshine, and it was strong as shit. And I was mixing it with I don't remember exactly what it was, but we were making like Mountain Dew, not real Mountain Dew, but the Mountain Dew drink. So I was making a Mountain Dew, and I made one, and it tastes so good. The moonshine was so smooth and so good. I drank it fairly quickly, and they were like, "Whoa, you got to slow down. Like that's not like a mixed drink. You have to really sip that slow." And I'm like, then me being a bourbon drinker, thinking that I have a high tolerance, said, you don't have to fucking coddle me. You don't have to hold my hand. I know what I'm doing. And I made a second drink, and they're like, I don't know, man, don't do that. So I did it.
Yeah, go ahead.
But hold on, it gets worse. So I did it. And the problem is that I got drunk so fast, I had a panic attack. And I've never had a panic attack. So I got drunk so fast that I was like, if I continue to get more drunk, I'm just going to pass out, like literally pass out.
Oh,
so,
boy.
Yeah. So don't chug moonshine, I guess is the the moral of that story.
So I don't where are you born geographically?
So I was born in Iowa.
Okay, so I'm a Carolina guy.
Yep.
Born and raised right here, the home of moonshine. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's a thing here. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. Do you have any shine? Do you have any shine? I got some. Okay, well, let's have some.
Oh, yeah, and then you share it.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a social thing. So, depending on who you get it from, it's usually better or worse. But the guy I got this from, he's local. I don't want to say who he is. He's local.
Don't do that. Don't drop him out.
Yeah, he's local. He knows. Okay. He's associated with some of the people who are on TV. Okay?
Ooh.
Because I live in the same area as the people on the TV. Okay.
Makes sense.
The one with the big sideburns.
Yeah.
On the TV show. Yeah.
With the
race car and shit. Josh.
Yeah.
We have farmland in the same hometown as the one he lives in. Right. He's there all the time. The junkyard that he was in with the truck over the top, and he hid the liquor in it. Okay. It's like a mile from our property. So, it's all a thing. The neighborhood next to our neighborhood that no one lives at anymore is called Little Chicago. And no one lives there. It's just country farmland. And why is it called Little Chicago? Well, because of moonshine. So we literally call that intersection Little Chicago. So they say, where'd it come from? It came from up from Little Chicago.
Nice.
Oh, okay. So and everybody knows, well, that area was Moonshine Central right there. So
nice. No, that's cool. You know what? That makes it even better because it's like it has its own local history, like its own homage about it. There's something different, and everybody kind of knows about it. But if you're not in that crowd, you'll never understand what's going on.
Correct.
That's the best way to do it. Well, here, man. Cheers to you.
We don't even call it moonshine here. We just say, "Do you have a drink?"
Oh yeah.
Do you have a drink?
Yeah, because you've got your own language to it.
And then we say, is it hot? Is it hot? Yes, it's hot, meaning it's not cut.
Right.
So you better have your fucking head right before you put your lips on it, because it's
Right.
gonna kill you.
Or you, and you can cut it yourself, right?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was just straight clear, right? It's got a little brown tint because my camera's not doing the greatest. It had a little brown tint to it, right? So
Right.
I took him the jar. I said, give me some of that, right? So he put it in the jar for me, and he said, what flavor do you want? And I said, well, you gave me apple. It wasn't apple pie last time. It was something else. Apples and cinnamon. I said, I don't like the cinnamon, so could you do something a little different? He's like, well, how about apple pie? I was like, well, let's try it. This isn't as good as the apples and cinnamon, but it's barely cut. He just adds a little flavor on top of the full jar that you get, and that's what you get, right? So he made some last time. He called Cherry Bounce. Jesus Christ. No human should drink that stuff. And that Cherry Bounce is a local thing too. So
nice.
Just Cherry Bounce. It's
we got to start communicating more. I might need some of this stuff,
bro. It'll put you down. It'll put you down.
Well, you know what? So since we're talking about local stuff that's going on with you, first of all, I want to do a nice drink. So cheers to you, sir. Let's get a little drink in there.
Tap the can.
Cheers.
Think. There we go.
Out of my plastic cup, my plastic glass. I want to ask you some questions about yourself, man, because I have caught a lot of your streams recently, but I haven't caught them all. And I learned little bits and pieces about you throughout the weeks as I go along. Mm-hmm. But I haven't been listening to you for several, like a year or like more than 6 or 7 months. So there's a lot about you I haven't learned about. So I figured that we could learn a little bit about you in this. So I'd like to ask, what were you doing prior to doing crypto and doing technical analysis? Like, what were you doing prior to this?
Fixing air conditioners.
Nice. Well,
I said this before on live stream. You might not have thought it, but I'm good at 2 things. I can fix an air conditioner like it's nobody's business. Okay. And I can chart. That's it. That's all I got.
Does your dad have an ultimate set of tools?
No. Believe it or not, Dad, you don't know, but my dad passed away in 2016.
I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
No, it's fine. It's cool. No one knows that. So, it's interesting. I didn't start doing air conditioning because I wanted to. It just kind of fell in my lap. My dad was a mechanic, a lifetime mechanic. He was ASE certified. That's what he did for a living. When he worked for a company called Siegling America, who does conveyors, and he traveled around. He traveled the country and did conveyors. When he came back and got done with that job, he went and just decided to be a mechanic. He had race cars. That's why I'm passionate about cars. The other stuff on my channel, other than the technical analysis stuff, is a Mustang, right? I've been working on it, and I haven't worked on it in a while because I didn't have the money. I had to stop. Well, I stopped because I had to make more money, and I had to concentrate more on investing money than spending money. And I hit a point where I had to buy some really expensive parts. And I said, well, how am I going to pay for these really expensive parts? Okay. No one knew this, but me and another guy were already doing Forex trading in the background. All right. Without going like super far back in the history of me. We were already doing Forex trading in the background, and we were blowing hardcore at it. Okay. We sucked really bad at it. Okay. So like,
you weren't trading, you were giving people money.
100%. Right. And we didn't know why we kept failing. Right. And we were trying. What do you do this? Do this. Try this. Okay. Read this. Over and over and over and over and over again. We failed. And we had this guy say, listen, go to forexfactory.com. You can pull that up if you want. Forexfactory.com. It's a page that gives you preemptive news or preemptive timing of news for Forex happenings, whether it be the US dollar, Japanese dollar, the Chinese RMB. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a website full of about to come news articles, right? So we're like scouring this thing. Like, okay, jobs report comes out tomorrow at 8:30. Let's be ready. Well, we would get ready on the chart, and we'd have it pulled up, and the chart would move, and we would be ready. And then the news report would come out, and it would come out late. Or a minute or two after the chart has already taken off. Well, in Forex, you can trade the daily, but you're not trading the daily. You're going way down to like the 5 minute, 1 minute, crazy ass things, right? and to try to get your leverage up and make the money, because what people don't understand about Forex, it moves 2% a month sometimes. Well, crypto moves 2% in 5 minutes. Okay. So you have to really, that's it. Yeah. You have to really dig deep to make money in Forex. You have to really leverage hardcore and put a ton of money in. There you go. That's it. To try to make much to live off of. And we just didn't do good at it. And we fought and fought. What are we doing wrong? So we applied technical analysis principles to Forex and we stopped doing news articles. We stopped listening to outside sources. We stopped watching the news on TV. I stopped watching Mad Money, right? Because people like to watch Mad Money and think they're going to make money that way. It's wrong. It's incorrect. We stopped that and just focused on technical analysis. And when we did that, we stopped losing money. We started making money. And we got up to a point where, like, well, what are you going to do? Well, then crypto came around. Then we got into crypto and said, well, dude, look at these charts move. Dude, they move 30% a day sometimes. And I looked at him, he looked at me. I'm like, dude, we can trade once a day and make the same as we would do 5 trades in Forex, just hardcore staring at the chart.
And what time frame was that?
On crypto or Forex?
For when you got to when you started looking at crypto?
We did Forex for about a year.
Okay.
Maybe a little less, but failed miserably at it. You know what I mean? And we had to get better. So we practiced and got better, and we made a little money. And then that money we used to go over into crypto with.
And what year did you guys start looking at crypto?
2018, September of 2018 was the first time I ever bought any crypto.
Awesome.
September 2018. And of course it was XRP. Epic fail. Epic fail. Bought in 2018 at 28 cents. The chart went up and we all thought, I'll never forget the convo, because I'm going down the road and I get a text and it says, dude, look at the chart. And I happen to glance at it and it's this monster green candle. And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to be rich. It's 78 cents. I'm going to be rich. From there, it went down for 2.5 years. Right?
That is everybody has that story in crypto. And I think I've had that story in crypto. So, and if you haven't had it yet, unfortunately it's coming, but
right.
You get into a project based off of, you're doing the research, you find a project, you're involved in it, you invest in it, you start watching it, it pumps and you're like, oh my God, this is it. And then it just, for whatever reason, it goes the opposite direction for weeks or months, and then you sell, and it's a learning experience.
Yep. We had to learn that the hard way. I was told when I got into crypto, and it wasn't his fault, he didn't know, hey man, you need to, I'll never forget the convo. We're sitting there together in forklift training. We had to get recertified on heavier forklift equipment. So we're sitting there because we both worked at a commercial industrial air conditioning company. It's not little stuff, it's big stuff. So like big tall buildings and shit. So we're both at this thing, and he's looking at his phone. I'm like, what are you looking at? He's like, this is cryptocurrency. And I've heard about it, but I've never bought any. All right. And he says, this is XRP, dude. You should check it out. It's going to be $10,000.
Ooh.
And I was like, wait, what? He's like, dude, I'm telling you, it's a quarter. You got to get some. Well, fuck, if it's going to be $10,000, I'll put some on it right now. Well, we both fell for it. Okay. So he said, well, have you looked, just go on YouTube and check it out. So I did. First thing I did was Google it up on YouTube, and bam, there's some stuff.
Oh,
There's a guy who's live, and I can watch him. That was a massive mistake. That never made me a single dollar. In fact, I wrote down all the failures that I had as I bought and bought and bought, and I didn't make any money. I was trying to track it, and I remember using Samsung Notes on my phone, trying to track it, and I failed over and over and over again. I didn't understand why. Once I applied technical analysis principles to what I was doing, I realized how much of an idiot I was being by letting outside influencers affect my decision making.
Well, yeah, but so the thing is, though, is I think now what we're realizing, because even myself, I am not a self-proclaimed technical analysis individual. I don't know that much about it. I'm learning. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to learn. I'm open to trying to get all of this different sources of information. Mm-hmm. But everybody kind of finds their niche, right? And what I have noticed is a lot of the people that are on YouTube, and I'm not saying everybody, and I won't call out specific names, but a lot of people on YouTube, they're self-serving and they're giving you information based off of who's paying them and what their self-interest is. And this is very, very telling when you go back and look at history. There's a name, there's an individual that has more than 1 million viewers, and all of his calls for 2021 were posted. So when you say a call, he's saying this is going to be a project that rips in the next few weeks, months, or year, right? All of that, I think the average negative was negative 281%, somewhere in that range. That's not good, right? So then you sit there and think, is this person incompetent, or are they being led by the money?
Do you really want that answer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're not incompetent. They're
disingenuous.
2 parts. You're not wrong. Not necessarily disingenuous, but misinformed. They're misinformed, so they spread misinformed information.
Okay? Right.
I get accused of being misinformed. You don't know what you're talking about, and you're spreading FUD, Keith. Okay.
Yeah, so but who's providing you this misinformation, though?
Right. I mean, we dig through and find the shit. We don't get provided anything, right? So I get told I'm a fudster because I call things scams. Well, I'm here to tell you we've tracked wallets, we've tracked blockchain IDs, we've tracked domain registries, we've tracked email addresses, we've tracked the dollars flowing. Okay. Guess what, everybody? There's a massive amount of scams, and like 3 of them aren't. Okay. 3 out of like thousands aren't. So number one, you've got to really prove it to me that you're not a scam. Okay. Because I'm walking into this with the thought that you are. All right. So you chose this. You chose this route. So don't get mad at me that I'm walking in with the assumption that you're automatically a scam. You chose to come in when you did. Okay. Then we go through and file through the information and find out things like, oh, this thing was created and dropped on the same day. The coins were distributed 2 hours later. They were distributed to special addresses that no one knows who they were. The wallets were multi-sig, but they're switched to no sig. So they're unlocked. So anybody at any time who's got a control of that wallet can sell it or do whatever they wanted to with it. And there's nothing you can do about it. And then the answer to get back is, well, they wouldn't do that.
Oh, yeah, because you know these people and they're so credible, right? And they're so
I told my buddy we were sitting in the truck together today. I don't trust him with my money. And he's a very good friend. He doesn't trust me with his money. Very good friends. You think I'm going to trust some asshole with a funny name on Twitter with my money? There's no freaking way. What is wrong with you? Like, if you don't do anything else, use your common sense. For God's sake, you think someone can offer you 2,600% APY for life? For fuck's sake, open your eyes.
All right, let's start getting into that portion of it, because, well, first of all, I want to say hi to some of the people that are in here. Rugsy, OG, you're the man. Everybody loves you. You're a great person. Roseanne Brown, Rosie B, thanks for coming tonight.
Name. Let's go, Roseanne.
Yes. Powell Robles.
That's John. That's Garth.
Yeah, new to blockchain. He's a newbie, he says.
He's fucking with you. He's not new. He's joking.
Oh, well, fuck that guy. So
got him.
Got him. How one of our people, that contributors in our Discord, great person, knows a lot about NFTs. Everybody, thank you for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it. So some of the terms you used there, you said the word scam, you said the word swindler type things like that. Mm-hmm. If that's what we're going to talk about, let's talk about what's been going on over the last couple of months, because one of the things that has been going on, and people have dubbed it the rug season, the Dow rug season and the no rug season. What is going on? Why is this happening?
Okay. This starts with the same story that I just told you. I bought XRP first, right? And for 2 years and some change, I didn't make $1. In fact, the only way I made money was to leverage trade and try to force myself to make more money than I could have if I just held tokens. Okay. If I just hodl. Okay.
Ugh.
People lost money for a long time. Okay. Then the XRP lawsuit comes in and people start blaming that for the reason that they lost money. Well, then the chart goes up to $2, so they don't have anybody to blame for a little while. But then the chart comes back down from $2, so now they're blaming the SEC again, right? This is the blame game that goes along with being a cultist. All right. So honestly, a lot of these
It's
people,
Rugsy season.
I know it's Rugsy. A lot of these people just simply lost money or haven't made as much as their counterparts. Okay. So if you're an XRP cultist, and yes, I'm going to call you that, XRP cultist, and you think that this thing is just going to be magically go up and they're going to flip some switch that doesn't exist and you're magically going to make this ton of money. That's incorrect, folks. That's not how the world works. Oh, but Dogecoin did it. Stop. That's completely different. Okay. The chart's totally separate, totally different. Okay. Well, if Bitcoin goes, everything will go. Incorrect. We've already proven that to be false over and over and over again. And what happens is they just realize that people who have ADA or XLM or any other coin except XRP made good money. So they say, well, how can I keep up with them? Well, then you get lucked into some stuff and you feel pretty good about it. And then, hey, word of mouth happens. And some of those same XRP holders who happen to be friends with some of the main XRP influencers create a scam. And now it's not a scam, you see, because the people who are tight with the main influencers say it's not a scam. So that makes it not a scam, you see? So now we can say, oh, well, don't you understand they're trustworthy because this guy is part of their team.
It's word of mouth trustworthiness.
Yeah. Real quick, everybody, if you see me as part of a team and you go, hey, man, Keith's on that token. I'm not. Stop what you're fucking doing. Stop. You do not listen to me. No, I'm not a fucking financial advisor. I'm not an expert at blockchain. I don't own multi-sig. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you listen to me? I'm some dude on Twitter. What is wrong with you? Use your brain. Okay, if that's the case, and I can tell you that, and you're literally looking at me right now. By the way, I'm fully doxxed. You can Google my ass and find out who I am, where I live, how much money I make, what my hours of work are, you can find out everything you want to about me. I'm not involved with any of these things. The people who are involved are not findable. Okay? You can't find out who they are. You can't see who they are. You don't know their names. They don't have any business licenses. Okay? They're all launched preemptively without any audits before the launches go off. Easy to launch something when the launch is already done. And you can audit it after the tokens are already given out.
Right.
Okay, well, congratulations. You audited a bunch of horse shit. You didn't audit it beforehand. Well, if you audited it beforehand, no one would have bought it. So then your scam wouldn't have worked.
So 2 points there. Number one, so I'll inject my own opinion on one thing, and then I'll ask you a question on the second. Number one, I think, and this is my own personal thesis, is that because we go through these cycles in crypto also bring on a lot of new investors. Mm-hmm. So since 2020 to 2022, we've had an additional 300 million users. I think I could be wrong with that, but I thought it was 300 million.
Something like that, yeah, because it's $3 trillion.
Right. So we had so many new people come in, and depending on what your source is, you could be hearing this term hodl and all these different things, right? So now you've got uneducated investors coming in, and they're starting at the basic ground level. And as you continue forward, these people get burned, and they either exit the market or they learn and they find groups and they start to learn all of these different pitfalls, right, and get better. 100%. So that's number one. Number two, do you think, you know what? Let's talk about that first part first, because the second part's important. So do you think that has a lot to do with people falling into these scam tokens, these rugs, is that they get involved in a project, and again, like, I am not the pariah. I am not somebody that's holier than thou. I have also myself been involved in these projects as an investor, and I've lost money because I thought that certain things were happening with these DAO projects or node projects. So I'm not immune to this either. This is a learning curve for me as well. But right. I think when you get these new investors involved, you start to placate to these types of mentalities that they're being taught by social media, Twitter, by Reddit. And then they start to get into these projects, and that's where all their exit liquidity is coming from.
Man, everything you just said is correct, and you just got to take it a step farther. You have to start at the head of the dragon. Who starts it? Okay, so
Bruce Lee.
Right. It starts with Jing Yingping. Okay.
Ooh.
Start there, right? I'm just fucking with you. So
I was gonna say, isn't it? What is it? It's like the New Year's. What is it? The year of the tiger. What is it? The Chinese
right?
New Year.
The year of the tiger. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I keep getting messages about that. I'm confused. Right. Why does that keep coming across my Discord and all my feeds?
The Chinese zodiac. So
yeah,
So it starts at the top. So I get a lot of pushback for this. I don't really care. You either like me or you don't. So it starts at the top with influencers. When someone takes someone's word as gold, they're going to do whatever they say, even if they shouldn't. Okay. You look at somebody, and we'll just use me for example. Oh, Keith's got 10,000 followers. He says stuff and he seems legit and he seems trustworthy. Well, if he says he's going to buy Gala, because I just happen to be looking at the chart right now, he says he's going to buy Gala. Well, I think I'm going to buy some. I'm influencing people's decisions just by simply saying I'm going to buy some Gala. Okay, people are going to say, well, he knows what he's doing, so they're going to follow me and do what I'm doing. That's not cool, right? You shouldn't do that. You should say, well, he says he's going to buy Gala. Wonder why he's saying that. Let me look. You wouldn't buy yourself, but that's not what happens.
Right.
People start by seeing an influencer say something, and they're influenced enough to, I'm stacking bags now. That's what I hear all the time. I'm going to stack back. What the fuck are you talking about? So that's where it starts. Secondly, just like you just said, everything you just said is correct. They find out that they lose money. When they lose money, they try to figure out what they did wrong. Well, they get into a tribe, and they get into a tribe to try to figure out what the tribe's doing. Well, the tribe says, hit the drum. So they say, well, okay, where do I get a drumstick? Well, you get a drumstick over here. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and buy a drumstick. Well, now I got a drumstick. It's not worth anything because I can't hit the drum because there's too many people standing around it. But you didn't think enough to even ask, was it right to hit the drum? You didn't bother thinking that. All you heard is what the tribe said. And I can relate to this with saying XRP. Everyone told you to go buy XRP. Why? Because it's the new world currency. Well, what does that even mean? Well, it doesn't matter what it means. Go buy some. Okay, well, I'm going to go buy it. And you buy it and you lose money and you go, well, it didn't go up yet. But it doesn't matter. You don't understand. They're manipulating it. Well, then why the fuck did you tell me to buy it?
Well,
if it's manipulated, why did you tell me to buy it? What are you talking about?
That brings up a good point, because what I think in a lot of it is social sentiment, right? So that's a big term. It's a big brain term. But the way that we can, break that down for us and what we're talking about right here, if you're an investor and you put your money towards something, you click the fucking buttons. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, if you watch some social media influencer, or you listen to some podcast, or you watched a YouTube video, or whatever it is, and that person got you to invest in that project, at the end of the day, they did not get you to invest in that project. You decided it was an investable project and you clicked the buttons. And for you to get upset with them, right? I understand that, but you have to realize that that's their shtick. That's what they're fucking doing. At the end of the day, we all, as an investing group, need to be responsible for what we're investing in.
Dead on.
100%. You know what? Drink to that shit.
Yeah, let me pour another drink. I ran out. Hang on.
Absolutely. If you're blaming other people for your investments, you fucked up. And if you have a group of people that are supporting you when you say, I invested in this and it's that person's fault, you're in the wrong group. You need to step back and figure that shit out.
What you're the technical term for what you're describing is confirmation biased. When you're hold on, let's have a drink first. Let's go. Drink to that. What you just said.
Yes, sir.
I already forgot, but it was important.
I was saying that be responsible for your own fucking investments.
You're exactly right. No one forces you to click. Now here's the inverse of that. You're right 100% about. I agree with everything you said. In fact, I've even put that on Twitter. It's your fault. You lost money because of you. It's your fault. It's your fault. You clicked the mouse. It's your fault. Stop clicking the mouse. Why are you blaming everybody? Same time, as someone who's not involved in any of these, I step back and go, hey man, that's fucked up. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't tell everyone that you're bullish on this. That's fucked up. You shouldn't do that. What you're doing is you're saying it's bullish so that everyone will go buy what you've got, so that what you own will then increase in value. That's not cool. That's what the kids on Twitter call pumping your bags. Okay. You say, hey man, everyone I think should go buy, let's use Gala. Everybody should go buy Gala because you've already bought it. You think if you go on Twitter and say that, everyone's going to buy it for you. Well, it doesn't really work on a centralized exchange, but decentralized stuff far more influence because the liquidity is so low. Okay,
Mhm.
especially these new shits. So it's hardly any money in them. If anybody comes in with any kind of significant amount of money, the chart goes up. Okay, because that's just you've got no money in it yet. It's brand new. That's where I have my problem. My problem with the influencers doing this is I know what you're fucking doing. Okay, I'm one too. You're not going to bullshit a bullshitter. I get it. I see what you're doing. Okay, you can't do that. What you're doing is wrong. Number one, morally wrong, and you can say what was actually word for word said to me. Morals don't matter. Remember, Keith, take profits no matter what. I was like, there's a
No.
difference in what you're doing, asshole. What you're doing is you're buying shit before anyone else can get it, watching the price go up, and then you're shitting on everybody as they get in. That's fucked up. Okay. I'm not doing that. What I do is out in front of everyone. I'll even tell you what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing before I do it on live streams. How about that? Live out for the whole fucking world to see. I don't got to do it behind the scenes. You're doing it completely different. And that person knows what I'm talking about. And he'll watch this because that's what he does. And he'll say something to me later about it. And that's cool. You won't say anything to me in person. That's the power of the internet. But this happens all the time. And that's what goes back to what I was saying earlier about the XRP influencers. Now they're involved in these scams. Now they're propping them up, and their scam's no different than anybody else. It's just a little bit more clever. That's all. Another point, the more money you get, I understand these charts go up and you see them going up and you see people making money, right? I get it. So it's tempting. Problem. The more money you put into these systems, the more the scam artists take profits on, the more they can continue to do this. So if you want it to stop, don't buy any of them and it will go away.
You know,
You
we
know
were
how you
just
get rid
talking
of, you know
about
how
that.
you get rid of, you know how you get rid of cockroaches? You can't kill them. You just stop giving them food.
Right, and then they eat
They
each
will go
other.
away.
No,
They'll
they
eat
kill
each
each other.
other.
They eat each
They'll
other.
they'll eat each other and go away. They won't go after you anymore. They won't follow you anymore if you don't have any food. So stop giving them fucking food.
But
If
that's
you
the
give them
thing.
your money, they're going to win.
Unfortunately, we have cutthroats out there that are taking advantage of other people that are making that
Yep.
money. So until, and this has been my opinion on several podcasts that I've been on and whatnot recently, my opinion is until we as a group, right, as a community decide to have higher standards, we're going to continue to get fucked with. And this is going to continue. So we're our own worst enemy, right?
100%.
So scam DAOs, scam nodes, scam NFTs, which has been a big thing recently.
Yep.
We're asking for it because we have such low standards for projects because we think that these projects are going to make us money, that we are investing in these projects as a community and empowering these ideals. So we're literally giving our money to them, and then we're complaining that they're stealing it.
Correct. Now you just said something awesome. What you're describing is what's called a degen.
A degen.
They're proud to be a degen. I see it in people's profiles because they're the cute ones who try to say little snappy stuff to me to get a response from it. Then I'll click on their profile and I'll see where it says degen, and I'll see the things that they're listing that they're involved in. I'm like, you're one of these fuckers who's got the money in it, who's mad that I'm saying that it's a scam. That's why you're mad. That's why you have something to say, because I can see you own it. You can't help yourself. I can go look at your timeline and see what you've retweeted and see that everything you've retweeted is involving scams. You fucking asshole. You're not tricking me. Okay. You're happy to be a degenerate. I can't do anything with you. I don't want to do anything with you. I don't want to be associated with you. I'm not associating myself with degenerates. I learned a long time ago, you are the company you keep. Okay. I would be dead or in jail if I kept the same company that I had before.
Good
okay?
point.
I changed my company. All right. And now I'm not in jail or dead, because it's very much the dead honest truth that I would be in jail or dead if I didn't change what I was doing with my life. 100%. Without unequivocally, that's what would have happened. So how do you fix it? You change, okay?
Just
so
like your taste in bourbon and alcohol, you mature,
exactly.
right?
And then
as you mature, you find different people to surround yourself with. Like I can understand, and I can it's a point for people to be a degen to invest into whatever they want into, and I understand that, and I don't disagree. Like, you can have that mentality, just like, the flavor is yours. Do what you want with it, but that doesn't mean that I have to partake in it, if that makes
Correct.
sense.
You're not asking me to do it. You even tell me to drink responsibly.
Exactly.
There's a big difference. And instead of saying, no, go get drunk. No, you don't say that. You say drink responsibly.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess to round off this portion is to say that I think that everybody needs to raise their standards. I think a lot of the people that watch this, I think the people that are engaged in this conversation, our viewers, the people in the chat, they are already changing their standards. They're paying attention. They're realizing that we can't continue the same thing. I don't, the quote, it was, I looked this quote up actually. The quote was from, originally it was stated that this quote was from Albert Einstein, but it was eventually they said that Albert Einstein didn't say this, but it's still a good quote. And the quote is, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, apparently that's not his quote. So I don't want to say that it is Albert Einstein's quote, but it's a great quote. And the point is that if you get rugged in a project and then you buy another crap node project or DAO project or whatever it is, and then you expect a different result and you don't get that, whose fault is that? It's not the developer's fault. It's your fault.
Yep. I got argued with that same point. Someone told me that wasn't Einstein, and I actually found it in some of Einstein's writings. What he actually says was, constant repetition with the expectation of differential is the equal to inevitable insanity.
Oh, perfect. So somebody just dumbed it down for us. Perfect.
Correct. You made it normal. Okay.
Well, thank you for making it normal. I like the normal version. It makes me sound like I'm not such a degen.
So people say, "Oh, Einstein didn't say that." A lot of people have said it, first of all, but that's how he said it, and I found that in some of his writings. I was looking up shit, just random dumb shit. So no one knows me personally. Some of these guys know me personally because we've met and we've hung out. Okay. Most of them don't, but what you'll find out about me when you hang out with me is I know I'm full of useless knowledge, things that don't matter. I understand and know. Okay. It doesn't make any sense and I have no use for it. And when we watch Jeopardy, I do really well. Okay.
Really?
Because I know random dumb shit that doesn't matter. Okay. There's no point in knowing it, but I know it. Right. It never going to make me $1, never going to get me anything out of it, but I know it. Right. That's one of them things I know just because I happened to be reading about Einstein one day about how he couldn't tie his own shoes. He didn't comb his hair because he felt like when he combed his hair, people looked at him different. He didn't like people looking at him. He didn't have time to concern himself with people looking at him. He was too busy learning every day, which is what something people could learn from right there. He was too busy learning every day to care about combing his hair.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's something that we can all look at. I think, again, I'll circle back to this point. People are looking for someone to tell them what to do, what to invest in. And when they don't find it, they get pissed and move on to the next person. Mm-hmm. And that person might be right. I mean, if I just sat here and told you a couple tokens to invest into, given a linear time frame, I could be right, 50% of the time, probably. And you're either going to be happy with me or you're not, depending on how long that time frame is and what the market's doing. Then when it goes bad, you're going to get pissed at me and you're going to move on. And I think that people need to stop doing that and find a way to do their own research and make their own decisions and potentially get to the point where we're trying to talk and say, now that you found these projects and you find these sentiments, now you need to find out how to do technical analysis. That's like the next step.
Yep. Yeah, there's a couple things to branch off what you said. I think a lot of the reason people want to do technical analysis on their own is because it's too much time. They don't want to do it.
Math is hard.
It's just, it's hard to count the 10. So people just don't want to do it. They just want you to do it for them. In fact, multiple people have offered pay me to do technical analysis for them. Okay. And I don't do it. I won't do it. I do it for one person. That person is completely different and special. That's it. Okay. Nobody else gets that treatment. So
was it Bob Einstein?
No.
Okay.
No, just a good friend. That's all. He's got his own special reasons why he can't do it. Okay. And I understand that. So that one person gets help and that's it. Okay. And he'll tell you that he's done really, really well. So, the number one thing is people are kind of lazy. They just don't want to try. Once you do it and you commit to it a little bit, just like you learn to ride a bike or learn to drive or learn to have sex well, you practiced at it. Okay. Whenever we were teenagers, we weren't very good at making babies. But as you get older, you get better at it. You practiced. Okay. Just like anything else, you practice technical analysis, you get better. I want to see more people educate themselves instead of begging for free advice. There's nothing wrong with giving advice to people and saying, hey, man, I think you're doing well, or hey, I don't think you're doing well. But this recent bull run has created a ton of geniuses. Okay. Everyone thinks that their fundamental analysis is correct and their news articles are correct. That shit didn't work for 2.5 years, right? From 2018 to 2020, whenever I was in it, shit didn't work none. Not a single fundamental mattered. It went down 96%. Almost every chart went down 96%. Not a single fundamental mattered then. But all of a sudden, we're in a bull run. Now the fundamentals matter, right? Now that's what's making the price go up. These things that you can't control, you shouldn't bother yourself with. You can't control the fundamentals. They're not going to help you or hurt you. You can't touch them or do anything about them. They're out of your control. You can look at the chart. You can read the chart. You can test the chart. Use the chart. If it's a buy, buy. If it's a sell, sell. No emotions. Just have a drink and think about it for a second. Make an intelligent decision on your own. Ask other people, hey, man, does this look like the right move to y'all? I think I got it. But I'm looking for somebody to say, hey, no, you're wrong. You should do this. I don't want to be right. Show me that I'm wrong so that I can change my mind. That's how our group got started. We had a group of people who refused to ask people when they were wrong, except a few of us. A few of us would say, hey, man, will you check this for me? I think I might be wrong. And you know what? I like the way you think it because you had this and I didn't see it. Okay. So now let's do that. And we ask another guy and that guy says, hey, y'all are right, but I got it going here. And we go, shit. So you're here, you're right in this area. We're all three. Bam. I'm putting my shit right there.
Yeah.
And then it worked.
So that brings up a good point. And, before I move on to some of this other stuff that we're going to talk about a couple articles here, I want to say that that's really important, what you just said. What you were just talking about, and I talk about this a lot, so people are going to be, I got to get a drink here. A lot of people are going to understand that I say this very often. And what I'm trying to tell people is, I don't care what group you find yourself in. It's like a relationship. Your first girlfriend's not going to be your last girlfriend. That's not typically the case. It happens to some people.
Shouldn't be.
But sometimes it happens, right? But you're going to find different relationships out there. And those relationships with those groups are going to change or different. And you're going to find different groups. Yep. Find yourself a group that is encouraging, that has the same values as you, that is talking about cryptocurrency and progressing you. They're making good decisions. They're helping you make good decisions, and they're trying to do the best for what you are doing. If you can't, and they challenge you, correct. And it doesn't matter if what group that is. And there's a myriad of groups out there. But it doesn't have to be my group. It doesn't have to be your group. Correct. Whatever group it is, find a group that works for you. But also, don't put yourself in a group, and I hate people that do this. Don't put yourself in a group that's negative. Like, if all they talk about is aping money and the sentiment is fuck you and it's negative, like, just get yourself out of there. You don't need all that negativity in your life.
Yep.
Find a good group.
Recently happened to me today. He's dead on about everything he just said. Or not today, the last couple of days. I seen someone bad talking me over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, all right, I've had it. So go in there and say, hey, man, you should probably shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And here's what I mean. Didn't want to hear what I had to say. So then someone said something about a scam. I said, yeah, that's a scam. Oh my God, I got bombarded. Show it, prove it. You're full of shit. You're fucking blah, blah. Bro, I'm done. I tried. It didn't work. I'm walking away. And now that I've walked away, someone sends me a screenshot of, yeah, I run him off here. He ain't shit. He sucks. He's sorry. I'm like, okay, dude. See what happens? No matter what you do,
right,
you're surrounding yourself with negativity and you're wondering why you guys aren't making money the way you want to. Well, you've decided that this was the thing you wanted to go with. You either picked the horrible crowd or you picked a bunch of guys who all think exactly like you, only
echo
up,
chamber.
only hope, echo chamber, only up, always. That doesn't make any money. That's not real. Do you just want somebody to pat you on the back? Because I can hire you a prostitute and she'll do that for you and it'll be more fun.
Yee.
Okay. Instead of a bunch of rando dudes on the internet patting you on the back. So make up your mind what you want to do. Do you really want to be the guy who rides coattails and listens to what everybody else says? You want to be the guy who says, hey, I found this and check this out, guys, and see what you think. Challenge me. And if you got something better, bro, I will happily say, dude, he was right. I say it all the time. And a matter of fact, here's a great example. In 2020, never forget this. We were watching Bitcoin CME gap. It was at $9,800. And I thought, nope, it's not going to, it closed. It came so close to closing, but it didn't. Right. I'm watching it and it's going up like 10,000, 15, 10, 15, 11, 1150, 12. I'm like, it's going to come back down. I'll wait. And then finally, one of them, the admins goes, hey, Keith, he messaged me. He's like, hey, man, I think you're wrong. And I'm like, what do you mean? He says, bro, I think it's time to stop. I'm like, what do you mean? He says, I don't think this one's going to close right now. I think it's going to keep going. And I was like, show me. And I was like, fuck, you know what? You're right.
Ooh, you went against your.
I was like, you know what? I look like a massive asshole, don't I? And it's like, no, I don't think it like an asshole. I just think it's time to stop holding coins and holding stables. I think it's time to get back in. And oh my God, was he ever correct? He was dead ass correct. Wasn't ever correct about alts, but he was right. He was correct about Bitcoin. And I was like, fuck, dude, this is what we're here for. This is perfect. This is like the best example ever. And I was like, bro, thank you. Couple months ago, after 2 years, he messaged me out of the blue because we just talk on the admin channel. We don't necessarily talk privately. He says, dude, I just wanted to say thank you. I'm like, for what? He's like, just think about where we came from. We were just some idiots following some hopium guys on YouTube. And now look, here we are, all nearly, if we haven't retired yet, already retiring. What are we like? Just sit and think for a second how things have happened. Look at Frank right there. Said, I implore you to change my mind about anything. That's what Frank said right there. All right.
Oh, no.
Have we done?
Like,
what have we done? Where have we come
welcome
from?
it.
Where have we done? Where have we come from? Where are we going? How did we get here? And KG's like, thank you, dude. And I'm like, well, you don't have to thank me. Thank you for challenging me. He's like, no. Thank you for challenging me. And we were both going back and forth saying thank you to each other because we both suck at taking gratitude. But things like this are important. You have to challenge each other. You have to prove to each other that you're not going to just roll over and be submissive about things. You've got to know that the other person has your back.
Yeah, I think I try to be
out of the
as
bottle,
transparent.
By the way.
Oh yeah. Oh geez, there he's going. He's drinking out of the bottle.
Let's go.
Yeah, I have to say this. I try to be as transparent as possible. I am learning just as well as everybody else. I am not an expert. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just trying my best to lead people in the right direction. But with that also being said, I think it's really important to tell people that if you're watching this, if you're involved in these communities, you're way ahead of the game. There's people that are chasing Shiba right now. There's people that are chasing Doge. There's people like Baby Doge and Elon Doge. Like, you're way ahead of the curve that you're even listening to this.
Yep.
So just listen, pay attention. We're all figuring our way. This is way better than what other people are doing. Just listening to social sentiment from Twitter influencers. Okay.
Agreed.
That is not the way to do your investments. And I think it's been proven time and time again.
Yeah. Sometimes those influencers are going to help you out by telling you.
Once in a yeah. If you shoot in the dark, eventually you're going to hit something.
If you roll craps in Vegas, we'll be in Vegas in April. If you roll craps in Vegas, eventually you're going to crap out. So everybody's going to crap out eventually. Okay. So sometimes you're just going to hit. That's the way it works.
Oh shit. You got a drink. Didn't you say something?
What'd I say?
I think you said one of the dog coins.
I said the dog coin, didn't I?
God damn it. I'm sorry. That's my bad. I led you into it. I led you into it. I'm going to be honest. I feel responsible.
I allowed him to challenge me.
Oh.
Okay. I said the D word. I said a doggy coin.
You did. My bad. All right. So one of the things I want to bring up real quick, woo.
God almighty. Yeah, keep going.
I wanted to bring up something that was posted recently by one of your favorite projects. If we can pull up the Twitter post by David Moss.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. Have you seen this?
Uh-huh.
You're all over it. So the team is they've had a breakthrough that dramatically lowers gas costs. And before strong chain, Polygon nodes are going to have it first, and the tapering model will come after this. So that, to me, that's pretty bullish news. I think that's a big thing. If they can lower gas fees on strong block, for the transactions on Ethereum nodes, I think that's a pretty big deal. What do you think about that?
What's up, Danny Deep Pockets?
Cheers,
Carney?
Danny Deep Pockets.
Yep.
Danny Carney.
That comes from a song by Riff Raff, a rap song. He's a terrible rapper, but there's this part of the song where Yellow Wolf starts talking. He says, Johnny Deep Pockets. So I was like, you know what? That's Danny Deep Pockets right there, because he's all over it. So Danny Deep Pockets.
Danny's practically my neighbor. You just don't know about that.
Bro, how about that?
You don't know about that.
I didn't, but I know now. I didn't know Danny was into the fine art of bourbon too.
Ooh.
But now we know. He ain't hiding no more. So what do I think? Number one, I think this is the CEO saying something bullish to get you to try to buy tokens in a downtrend. That's the first thing I see. It's in a downtrend, and he would like to try to reverse that sentiment by saying something bullish. This is what Brad Garlic House does all the time, and it hasn't worked. And same thing I would say about Strong. It hasn't worked. That article came out 2 days ago. Since then, it's down 3.5%. Is there a way to magically get better ETH fees? Not really. Me and David talked about this, Critical Complex. He found a thing that does have lower gas fees, but it's not dramatically lower. It is lower, but it's not dramatically lower. Unless you're going to get rid of Ethereum, you can't do that. You can't magically make lower fees.
Well, I will interject one thing. So, and this is not a shout out. This is just truth. I was involved in an NFT project, where I minted 5 mints on an NFT on Ethereum, and it was $10 per mint at 180 Gwei.
Okay.
So that is super reduced gas fees for an NFT mint. So this was for Salty Pirate Crew, and I spoke with their developer, and I spoke with their contractor that did the contracts, right? Not contractor, but who wrote the contracts. And he said that everybody can do this. They just don't want to take the time to write the contracts enough to look at the code to do this. And Salty Pirate Crew wrote it into their contract where the gas fees were dramatically less. I would say on average it was between $10 and $15 of Ethereum per transaction, which is super low. I mean, can you tell me one project that has that? Now, obviously that's an
definitely not Strong.
No. And I think maybe they found out the same niche that Salty Pirate Crew found, but I have to say it's been done, and I experienced it myself, and there's people in the chat that have also experienced that. So it can be done, but I think that it needs to be, addressed.
I agree with what you're saying. And I think we're talking about the same code because there's another company that does something very similar to what you just said. Okay. I think it's the same thing, just another company doing something similar. All right. The fees weren't that low at $10 or $15. They weren't that low, but they were lower. Okay. And I thought, well, that's cool. I'll try it. So I tried it, and my transaction didn't go through, and I lost like $30. So I didn't try it again. Okay. I will say that this tweet comes after him saying he'd have a quote unquote roadmap put out by the end of the month. And it's the new month, 3 days in now. And we haven't got what he said he was going to give. Also, there was a hardcore promise of all these other companies coming out for the last 6 months. There's been 2. And neither one of those has paid into the liquidity pool. Okay. I don't like that. What that comes off to me as is the CEO doing his best to sell you. That's his job. The CEO's job is to sell you the product the best he can.
Right.
That's the purpose of any CEO.
That's his job.
That's his job. So he's trying to get you to buy more Strong tokens. I don't have a problem with that. The problem that I have with is everybody taking this word as gospel. Okay. He's trying to sell you tokens. So you need to understand that. The first thing you need to do when you read this tweet is you need to understand that he's never going to say anything that's going to not make you want to buy tokens. What are you expecting?
Except for Cowabunga.
Right. That stopped pretty quick too, didn't it?
Real quick.
Yeah. That stopped pretty quick once he realized that he sounded a little uneducated. It didn't sound like a CEO, so he stopped.
Well, I'll tell you
what. Namaste stuff stopped too, okay?
Yeah, well, one of these days we need to have a conversation with me, you, and Steven and talk about the actual metrics of Strong,
Bro,
because
let's fucking fire it up and light it up.
that needs to happen, because he follows wallets more than anybody I've ever seen, and
Dude,
he
Steven is
grasps
a
them.
hyper nerd, bro. And I'm getting a
Oh,
little
I love
tipsy,
him.
so I'm gonna
I
talk a
love him.
little. I'm gonna talk a little more off the cuff.
I'm getting
Steven
loose.
is a
I'm
hyper
getting
nerd,
loose.
bro.
I love him. I love
Him
Steven.
and his shitty beard are hyper nerds.
I love him. I love Steven, man. He's such a genuine dude.
He's a good dude.
And I don't know. Hey, I'm going to throw him under the bus for a second, because he's probably going to watch this like tomorrow or the next day. If you go back and look at his videos, have you looked at his initial videos?
The first ones when he started, yeah.
Yeah. What was he doing?
Oh,
He was
dude.
fighting.
Yeah.
He was in a ring fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Bad
That's
dude.
back when he had hair. Let it go.
Yeah. Let it go. All right. Bad
Because
dude.
us bald people, we wear.
Oh shit, dude!
We wear
I'm
hats to
completely
try to
bald.
hide that we're bald.
I'm smooth bald all the
Well,
way
you
around.
see what you did before you had your camera on. I saw you're smooth, but here. I'm close. Okay, I'm close. I'm gonna have to do it soon. I was talking about it. So
you know what? I had to give up. I had to give up on my hair in college. My wife, who's in the chat, she'll probably make a comment. Fuck me, but I had to give up in college. She was just like, "It's time to give up," and I married that woman. So I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah, I've been going bald since I was 22. There's nothing I can do about it. I've had a receding hairline since 22, and I've had this crown right here on the top. It ain't going away. It's just gonna have to. It's gonna be the way it is. So I'm gonna have to do what you and Steven do, and I'm gonna have to go all the way down soon. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't told anybody this except my admins, but tomorrow is my 2-week notice for my quote unquote real job.
No.
So I'm retired in 2 weeks.
No, congratulations! Hit that button. Hit the clap button. Hit the celebration button.
Eyes are a little blurry. Hold on, right there.
There it is.
It's not really retirement. It's just retirement from working for other people. Okay, so I've started behind me. You see 786 Unlimited. That's my business. I do technical analysis consults. 1 hour consults. You can sign up on my fucking website, 786unlimited.com.
I signed up for that, by the way.
I'm much more professional when I'm not tipsy. Okay. When it's one-on-one, I'll be a professional with you, right? And I'll try to be a professional. Since I've opened my business, I've tried my best to be a professional on Twitter and not use the wrong words and not name people out, that kind of thing. I've tried to be very professional since I'm a businessman now. It's been a little rough because people come at you when they realize you're a businessman and you can make money and they can't. Well, that makes people angry. Okay. And then they try to, they're gonna do things to say things that you shouldn't say to people, and that's par for the course. But you know what? It's a point in my life where I've got to do something different, and I can't continue what we talked about Einstein earlier. We can't continue to do the same things expecting to change. Okay.
Right.
So I've hit a point where I have to quit something. It's either I quit my consults, I quit the live streams, and I quit the Discord that I helped build, or I quit my regular job. What do you want to do? So which one costs most and doesn't make as much? And that's my regular job. It costs me the most time and makes me the least amount of money. That's right. I make less money doing my regular job than I do in anything involved with crypto. Anything involved with crypto makes me more money. My Gala node makes me more money than my regular job. Figure that shit out. So what am I doing? Look at Tony. Tony the Nose Savage. Vegas is a retirement party. Can't wait to see you, buddy, bro.
Gosh.
We've already been talking about this. I don't know whether you're coming or not, Dreko.
When is this? In April?
April 20th through 28th.
Damn, I gotta ask my wife.
It's the 24th weekend. She says yes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she's already clapping in there.
She says yes. So it's a retirement party because multiple of us.
That's my wife.
There you go. Multiple of us have opened up our own businesses here, and we've been able to quit what we're doing in the real world and focus more on the things that make us the most amount of money and the things that we like the most. Not ever saying you should have your hobby as a job, because then you won't want it to be your hobby anymore.
Right.
But this is what I enjoy. I enjoy doing this. Okay. I'm not very good at public speaking, to be honest with you. I'm incredibly socially awkward, but for whatever reason, this doesn't bother me anymore. So I can get on here and talk shit. With it. I can get on here and talk shit, and it doesn't bother me anymore. Some guys don't want to come on here with me because, you guys are going to make me drive down the strip, aren't you? Well, how? We're actually renting Lamborghinis and McLarens and shit. So I'm going to live the life of a rapper for one day.
Yeah. I want to be a part of that.
I'm never gonna buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, but I will rent one for one day.
I'm gonna rent a ridiculous necklace, like
Ooh.
$1 million necklace, and wear it around.
Oh,
like a rapper. That's exactly what's going to happen.
I like it. Not a bad idea. Damn it! Now I got to find out who leases jewelry real quick.
Yeah, well, I'm sure in Vegas that's not a problem.
Yeah, it's a different world there. We've already went once. We went with just the admins. We didn't tell many people where we're going because we wanted to meet each other and hang out first and see whether we were co-bonded or not. And once we did, we said, "Hey, man, we should invite everybody next time," and that's what we're doing. Okay. Our little group is going to have a one meet every year somewhere, whether it be Vegas or Cabo or wherever, Miami, whatever. We're going to have one meet per year where we all come out, hang out, shoot the shit with each other, and just become a better community. We've lost the social interaction aspect of one-on-one.
Ooh, all right. So
that's what Twitter and Discord and all these other things have done to us. We lose the social interaction aspect of being able to see each other one-on-one and understand each other's meaning. Okay, we just lost that.
Yep.
I can't communicate with people anymore without them thinking I have an attitude. When I don't have an attitude, I'm just speaking to you candidly. Well, right. Candid comes off as attitude. Okay?
Right.
It's not my intention. But they don't know that because you can't see me and hear me.
Exactly. So what that does. So I know you've heard me say this before, but I'll say it again. So it's going to be boring for you. One of the things that people need to realize is that when they're going down this journey of cryptocurrency, they need to make friends, and there's friends all around you. You just haven't noticed it.
Correct.
So like there's people in the chat that are probably friends. They haven't taken the next step outside of talking on the internet to make that friendship, right? There's people in all of these groups that you're talking to daily, every morning when I wake up. So I wake up at 5:30 in the morning.
Me too.
And I try to say good morning to everybody. And I'm trying my best to like interact with everybody. And those people that you see every day, those friendships that you're making, don't let them go to waste. Just because they're on Discord, those are people that you should interact with. Those are people that you need to become friends with. You should consider them real life friends because they are real life friends. And I think a lot of people push that aside because it's on the internet.
Right.
Don't do that. Value this because you're making friends every single day, and don't let that go to the wayside. And if you can have an opportunity to meet those people in person once a year or whatever it is, that's really important, not only socially, but psychologically, like meet these people and talk to these people. So yeah, I think that's really important. I need to discuss that and get that figured out. But yeah, right. I think that's really important to do that. And I'd love to meet you in Vegas.
We have a couple people who do that every morning. Frank, who you just saw talking down there a minute ago, said, challenge me. He does it all the time. He'll just say, hey, good morning, fam. I'm off to the races today, blah, 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 blah.
Just enough. Just he's checking
That's it, bro. He's busy all day, but he has enough time to say, hey, y'all have a good day.
Yeah. It's important because this is your people. This is your family.
Exactly. I've been trying to do that on Twitter lately. Just saying, hey, everybody, have a good day, okay? Just y'all have a good day, okay? Nothing else. Just, hey, y'all remember to have a good day today, okay? Enjoy today because nothing's promised tomorrow, okay? Just have a good day. Enjoy your day. And then we talk amongst each other. We do Zooms after the live streams for all of our Patreon members, right? Our unlimited Patreon members. You can come on and hang out on the Zoom with me and see exactly how I am. If you think, oh no, that guy's fake or whatever, you're just doing that for YouTube. After the stream, because these people tip me or whatever, and I get really drunk, I'm just as normal as I can be in real life. This is me spewing out on the microphone. Like, I can't help it. This is all I got because my filter goes away. So you're going to get the best of me on an unlimited Zoom call after the live stream. That's just the way it is. By the way, if anybody ever wonders where all that money goes when you give it to me, I donate it. We give it away. I don't keep it. So if you see somebody donating to me on YouTube, I get half of it. Google gets half, and then we donate the rest. That's how we're able to do the cool donations that we do because people donate to me. I just pile it up and give it away.
Yeah, and we've talked about that before because of things that have happened in the past. And it's unfortunate because you'll have people that'll judge you based off of, those donations and things like that that are going on. And they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. And it's upsetting because you have people that are making judgments or making, They're making judgments on you without even knowing what's going on. And then they socialize it. They put it out on Twitter and all this other stuff. It's unfortunate, man. It really is. You're a good dude. And everything you're doing with your channel, the 786 Assassins, how you're training people and helping people learn how to do technical analysis to better themselves. It's all good. And I don't understand why people would FUD that so much. Now, I get it. You can become a polarizing person if you say that a project specifically is negative or a scam. But what you're doing is putting your opinion out there. You're allowed to do that. Ultimately, I don't know if you know this, Carolina Keith, but you're allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah, we all are. Just remember that everyone has a balloon knot, and not everyone wants to hear about it. Okay. Now, no one wants to know what your chocolate starfish looks like. They know that you've got one. That's all that we need to know. You have a chocolate starfish, and that's good enough. We don't want to hear it or see it. It's cool. You could talk about it, but we really, you know what I mean? We really don't want to hear it. So, well, thank you. We try to be as genuine as we can. That's the whole point. The charts are as genuine as they come. You see a chart, there's a chart behind me right now. That's my fucking business card behind me. All right. So I put it on my business card. Don't tell me it. Why would I do that if it didn't work? Right? Like, come on. So it's as genuine as it comes when there's no emotions on it. It's just candles on a screen. Use it to your advantage. Don't be disingenuous about it. People are trying to help you, well, then be helpful back to them. If you learn something, we'll pass it on and be helpful. I want people to learn the right way to do things. When I started doing air conditioning work, I've been doing air conditioning work. This would be year 20. So I'm stopping at year 19. Okay. That's a long fucking time to fix air conditioners, isn't it? So when I first started, I wasn't any good at it. Okay. And then I practiced and I got better and I got better and I better. And as I got better, I had to go to do more difficult stuff. And then the more difficult stuff became easier. And then I had to do more difficult stuff. I compiled all this information and data and I learned the right way to do it. So then after a while, the owner of the company that I used to work for would say, hey man, I got a new guy coming in. I want you to train him. Why? Well, because you do it the right way. And I don't want him to learn the wrong way. I want him to know the right way first. And if he knows the right way first, he's never going to be wrong.
Right.
He's never going to cut corners because he doesn't know how to. Okay. So teach him the right way. And off we would go. And that lasted a really long time doing that. Okay. And here we are, the same thing. That's exactly what I'm applying. That's exactly what I'm applying to the private consults that you've signed up for, by the way. You got one of the cancellations, which was awesome.
Absolutely. I swooped in there.
Right. It's hard. I was trying to tell people, I was like, look, man, I know people are asking. Here you go. Here's your chance. Go. That's the best. And in 5 minutes, they were gone.
Yep.
First of all,
I actually tried to get I tried to get an earlier one and I didn't get it.
Blows my mind that people want to do this. Okay. So from the bottom of my heart, thank everybody. I have no idea how you all want to come hang out with me, but you do. I was talking to Andrew about this today. I say this after every live stream. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you're not. You're here with me, and I appreciate that shit. And I don't know why y'all are, but I thank y'all for it. I never thought this would happen. I'm a poor kid from the armpit of Charlotte. I'm a poor kid from Gastonia, okay? Where we're known for James Worthy, Sleepy Floyd, and drugs. That's it. That's all we got, okay? So that's what and Fred Durst. Those three things. So I got a retrospect video that I'm going to do pretty soon. Like I said, I got 2 more weeks of quote unquote real work, which I haven't been doing real work in a long time. I've been doing this at work. So, I'm going to do a retrospect video and an origin video, and me and my cousin are going to ride around and show everybody exactly where I'm from and exactly what I've been through and exactly what I've lived through, what I've done, what I haven't done, how it all happened, how it came about. I want everybody to see how real this shit is to me. I'm sick of the fake. I'm super sick of the fake. It kills me watching this shit on Twitter go down, dude. It breaks my heart for people watching you fall for this shit. You don't understand how bad of a decision it is to give scammers money. They're only going to get more.
You're empowering them.
You're empowering the scammers. Stop. Don't give them power. If you don't like politicians, what do? You take their power away. You take their power away and you put somebody else in there with more power, or you give them the power instead. But you don't do that on Twitter. You continue to give them more power. Well, I made money. Okay. You know what? You're right. You made money. You did make money. However, you gave it to a scammer, and now he's going to do it again. He's going to do it better next time. And when he does it better next time, the website will look cooler and have cooler names. Maybe this time he'll call them Meta Islands.
Ooh.
Or maybe he'll call them something else. Maybe he'll copy Strong 100%. He'll name his fake nodes the same as the Strong block NFTs. Maybe he'll do that. Or maybe he'll copy some of the XRP stuff, how it rises from the ashes. XRP is going to rise from the ashes. And he'll create a fake token and a fake scam that's based on an animal that rises from the ashes.
Okay? But how do we not see this as a community? Like, how do we get behind this shit? Like, I keep trying to, like, it's difficult because in my position, the way that I look at it is I'm not in a position. I just give you information. Like, here are the facts. Here's what you invest in. Here's what they're doing. And I can pretty much, the only in part that I want to put in there is whether it's high risk, low risk, or like super high risk, right? Mm-hmm. With that being said, you don't want to, it's hard to have an opinion on a project. Right. You know what I mean? Because you don't really know.
People take their opinion for worth.
Exactly. Right. And I try my best not to have any opinion on a project. I just give you what it is. Mm-hmm. But some of these projects, it's just so obvious that what they're doing is just copying what somebody else did. And if you think that's going to survive, they've put no effort into this.
All right. So important. You didn't hear me and Steven talking about this before we started that video, but Steven says, I think Dreko is constantly trying to help people not get ripped off.
Yeah.
That's what he said before we ever did the video. You didn't hear that. That's the first time I've told anybody about that. Yeah. We talked for like 10 minutes before we started the video, just like we did before we started this video.
Because people reach out to me with their hard wallets that get wrecked.
Dude, me too.
Because I have a security, background. So I help people with their hard wallets. I hate listening to people say, I just lost a whole Bitcoin. What do I do? And do you know how hard it is? There it is, Ledger. Do you know how hard it is?
Come on, people.
Do you know how hard it is? I don't know if you've ever done this before, but I literally felt seriously emotional. I had to tell a guy, all of your savings, all of your tokens are gone, bro.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. Well, how do I get them back? I had 1.5 Bitcoin and 15 Ethereum. How do I get that back? And I was like,
oh my God,
it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone, bro.
You're explaining something that's happened to me a couple times.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't want to interrupt you, but with what you were saying about Steven.
Do you think? No, you're right. I don't know how many followers you've got, and I don't know how many people are in the Discord. I'm not sure. But
I don't pay attention.
the point is, a certain number of those people are getting ripped off right now. Mm-hmm. So I had a guy come to me and says, "Hey man, can you help me out?" I was like, "What?" He says, "I think I got scammed, but I'm not sure." I was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, all my Strong is gone." I was like, "What do you mean all your Strong?" He said, "Well, somebody claimed it and somebody took it, and I can see the Etherscan address where they wiped it out, and then they resold it a bunch of different times." I'm like, "I'm sorry, it's gone." He says, "Well, how? I thought this was blockchain." I was like, "Well, it was. You clicked on something that you shouldn't have clicked on. What did you click on?" He said, "Well, I didn't click on anything." I was like, "Are you sure? What did you do?" Well, it come out to it. He had found, he fell for the dog coin phase. And he clicked on one of the dog coins that was airdropped into his MetaMask wallet. When he did that, that triggered some kind of virus that gave out his key phrases. And they logged in with his key phrases, and they took his Strong off his Strong block website, and they claimed it and they sucked it out. I said, "You're done now, bro."
It's so bad.
I said, "So now you need to get a ledger and put the ledger on there so at least they can't do that anymore." He was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, you got to get a ledger and hook it up. Just so they can't get to that point. They can get in your wallet, but they can't do anything else because you've got the ledger. They can't do anything. They're stuck now." I said, "So at least you can stop them, but you've already lost what you've lost." And oh man. And then one of my admins, Ken, he got ripped off. Okay. When we were in Vegas, Nick got ripped off for a little bit of money. Okay. We figured it out, but still the point is he got ripped off a little bit. No one's immune to this shit. You're not immune. If you can't spend, you're putting thousands of dollars into tokens. You're willing to pay me $16 to come on a Discord to hang out with like-minded individuals to learn more. But you won't spend $50 on a ledger that you plug in and type a couple buttons on to lock or unlock?
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly.
Use your brain here.
I tell that to people all the time.
Use your common sense.
So that brings me to rounding this out. I want to hear your advice. So you've got like your 1 minute advice section that you want to give people, and I'll give mine first to close this out on this whole conversation. My advice to people would be to make sure that you are protecting your assets. If you are investing in cryptocurrency, you need to protect your assets with hard wallets and education, and surround yourself with a good community. It's not just one or the other, it's all of the above. Because if you don't know not to invest in that NFT project, you're going to get wrecked. Somebody needs to post that in your group so that you know that. If you don't know to update your ledger so that you can make those transactions go through, that's a problem, right? You need to have these conversations. But at the same time, if you're investing in cryptocurrency right now and you're not using a hard wallet with your MetaMask account, you're doing it wrong. So do yourself a favor, get educated. There's a lot of information out there. We just had a huge conversation with Strongblock with Daniel and Steven Strong. We were on the Strongblock website for Discord, and we talked about the whole entire thing, what you need to do to get yourself protected. So listen to whatever you got to listen to get yourself behind a hard wallet. That is my advice. Get yourself protected, get all your assets protected, and then diversify your assets. Nobody can tell you what your limit is. Your limit might be $5,000. If you have $5,000 in one hard wallet, that might be too much for you to lose. So now get a new hard wallet so that if that hard wallet gets compromised, you don't lose everything, right? So diversify your assets and get behind hard wallets. That would be my biggest thing for you to do. And then obviously get yourself behind a project or a community so that you have like-minded people that you can talk to.
All right, so you're security based, so your spiel is on security. I'm technical analysis based. My spiel will be on the 4 things that I tell everybody to do. Number 1, no emotions. None. 0 emotions are allowed, not happiness or sadness or joy or fear or gratefulness or sadness or weeping or nothing is allowed. None of these assets care about you. Why do you care about them? None of these assets feel you. Why do you feel for them? You've got to stop. Remove your emotions. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, have a plan before you ever buy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you buying that? Who told you to buy it? You? Good. Now, what are you going to do? Why are you buying it? How long are you going to hold it for? Are you ever going to sell it? When are you going to sell it? How much are you going to sell of it? Are you going to keep some? How much are you going to keep? If you don't have a plan, rule number 1, no emotions, don't buy. Rule number 3, what's your backup plan when shit goes downhill? Because inevitably, shit will go downhill. What are you going to do? What's your get out strategy? What are you going to do? Where's your stopping point? At what point are you going to say, I've lost enough money? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I got to stop. I'm going to rethink what I'm doing and recycle myself here. At what point is that? If you don't have a point and you don't have a backup plan, rule number 1, no emotions, don't buy. Rule number 4 is my favorite rule. And it's not even the most important rule. It's just my favorite. Take your profits. Because if you don't take your profits, I will take your profits for you. Okay? Does that sound mean? Yes, it does. And I want you to take profits with me. But if you refuse to take your profits, then you're going to lose them to me. So follow the rules. If you follow the rules, you won't lose as much. You may lose. That's life. Nobody wins everything. Nobody remembers that Babe Ruth struck out 800 something times. They only remember the 714 home runs. Okay. He was up there swinging. That means he missed sometimes. You got to take chances in life, and I got no problem with that. When you do take chances, have a backup plan. Okay. That would be my 1 minute spiel.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Well, I appreciate you being here. This is a great conversation. I think this is one of many. As we continue forward, I think there's a lot of conversations to be had. And honestly, I think that what you're pushing with your technical analysis needs to be more known in the space. People need to know about that type of stuff. And as we continue forward, I think that we can make sure that our communities and all the people that are following us, yourself and myself, need to know that there's different things out there that they can look at to make sure that they're making informed decisions. So Agreed. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I appreciate your time, and this was a great conversation.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate you having me. We went a little longer than I think we planned to go, but that's cool.
A little bit.
I'm fine
You're
with
right.
it, bro. I'm happy about it because we were on a roll and we were in the vibe, and the vibe is important. People need to know that people need to understand what we're saying here, because I'm not trying to fool anybody. I'm not trying to trick anybody, and you're not either. You're legitimately trying to help people, and I'm cool with that. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to help you learn.
I agree. Yeah.
And thank you for trying to help people with their security and shit, dude. I didn't take it serious for a while. Okay. So I got to take it more serious myself. That's just part of it. So
Absolutely.
if people keep tuning in, we'll keep doing this. I think that's awesome. And we'll get a little better at it each time.
Absolutely. Thank you for everything, and I appreciate your time. And everybody, thank you guys for coming. You guys are all legends. And until next time, cheers. Have a great night.